It's Tuesday evening, and this is White Ash Flies with Colin Mahoney. Thank you so much for tuning in, and what a great night to tune into, because tonight we're presenting episode 3 of Sonnet Octagon, which pits 3 sonnets by a given poet against 3 sonnets by William Shakespeare. Tonight's fight card features Thomas Wyatt versus William Shakespeare. You can find White Ash Flies on SoundCloud, Spotify, Audible FM, and on Twitter at Colin Mahoney15. And now, episode 3 of Sonnet Octagon, beginning with 3 poems by Sir Thomas Wyatt. On White Ash Flies. Some fowls there be that have so perfect sight, again the sun their eyes for to defend. And some, because the light doeth them offend, do never peer but in the dark or night. Other rejoice that see the fire bright, and ween to play in it as they do pretend, and find the contrary of it that they intend. Alas, of that sort I may be by right. For to withstand her look I am not able, and yet can I not hide me in no dark place. Remembrance so followeth me of that face, so that with teary een swoln and unstable, my destiny to behold her doeth me lead. Yet do I know I run into the glede. Avising the bright beams of these fair eyes, where he is that mine oft moisteth and washeth, the wearied mind straight from the heart departeth for to rest in his worldly paradise, and find the sweet bitter under this guise. What webs he hath wrought well he perceiveth, whereby with himself on love he plaineth, that spurreth with fire, and bridleth with ice. Thus is it in such extremity brought, in frozen thought now, and now it standeth in flame. Twist misery and wealth, twist earnest in game. But few glad, and many a diver's thought, with sore repentance of his hardiness. Of such a root cometh fruit fruitless. My heart I gave thee, not to do it pain, but to preserve it was to thee taken. I served thee not to be forsaken, but that I should be rewarded again. I was content thy servant to remain, but not to be paid under this fashion. Now, since in thee is none other reason, displease thee not if that I do refrain. Unsatiate of my woe and thy desire, assured be craft to excuse thy fault. But since it please thee to feign a default, farewell, I say, parting from the fire. For he that believeth bearing in hand, plougheth in water, and soweth in the sand. And now, Sonnets 7, 8, and 9 by William Shakespeare. Lo, in the Orient, when the gracious light lifts up his burning head, each under eye doth homage to his new appearing sight, serving with looks his sacred majesty, and having climbed the steep up heavenly hill, resembling strong youth in his middle age, yet mortal looks adore his beauty still, attending on his golden pilgrimage. But when from highmost pitch, with weary car like feeble age he reeleth from the day, the eyes, fore duteous, now converted are from his low tract, and look another way. So thou, thyself outgoing in thy noon, unlooked on diest unless thou get a sun. Music to hear, why hearest thou music sadly? Sweets with sweets war not, joy delights in joy. Why lovest thou that which thou receivest not gladly, or else receivest with pleasure thine annoy? If the true concord of well-tuned sounds by unions merry do offend thine ear, they do but sweetly chide thee, who confounds in singleness the parts that thou shouldest bear. Mark how one string, sweet husband to another, strikes each in each by mutual ordering, resembling sire and child and happy mother, who all in one pleasing note do sing, whose speechless song, being many, seeming one, sings this to thee: thou single wilt prove none. Is it for fear to wet a widow's eye that thou consumest thyself in single life? Ah, if thou issueless shalt hap to die, the world will wail thee like a makeless wife. The world will be thy widow, and still weep that thou no form of thee hast left behind, when every private widow well may keep by children's eyes her husband's shape in mind. Look what an unthrift in the world doth spend shifts but his place, for still the world enjoys it. But beauty's waste hath in the world an end, and kept unused, the user so destroys it. No love toward others in that bosom sits, that on himself such murderous shame commits.